Okay, so I'm just going to go with a quick recap of what I've built so far. Here is the main gearbox for the front. This one is the front axle. Basically, when you're assembling this part, you put this into here and then put this one on after assembly, obviously. Put this one into here and then put this one on the top. However, with all the fiddling around, I've come to notice that the bearing slot on the inside under the gear is it doesn't sit tight, it's a bit loose, so it's a bit of a precarious balancing game, trying to keep that on there and then put this one in, spread the bearings so they go into the correct slot. What I did find is that if you were to put the outdrive on first before trying to attempt this gear, it does make the whole process a little bit easier. Now, the next thing is the motor. I do like the way the transmission works. As you can see, the motor just fits in there like that. It just slots in. But there is a bit of a caveat with this one. Caveat, however you pronounce that. That if you look, it's going to be difficult to show this. Just here, where is it? This little bit just here. You got 4 of them. You got one there, and you've also got the one. You got the one up here on this corner, and the one here in this corner. And it's hard to see them once you get the lighting just right. Yeah, basically, that holds the motor into the housing. You see, the downside with this, which I kind of think it's a bit of a downside to the design of it, is that in order to get the motor out, you have to open the entire gearbox, which is a bit of a downer. As you can see, it's pretty complicated, and it has other issues which I'll talk about in a moment. So let's try and get this all back together again. Oh no, keep doing that. Slide in. Okay, so I'll put the other side on. You can see it assembles like that, so you can't actually, oops. So you can't actually pull the motor out. You actually have to undo the entire gearbox. We have 3 screws here to just seal it. One at the top, one at the back, you got one at the top here, one here, the other one here. I'll just tighten those up. We're really not used to building like this. You know, camera in your face. Very unhelpful. So, there we go, we've got this sealed now. As you can see, that is not coming out. I mean, it's nice, it keeps it in. It's not screwed in, but actually it is, using the entire gearbox housing. Okay, the next part in the manual is to actually fit the lower plate. Got the arms on it at the moment, but I just found it easier to just remove it so I could show you the insides of the gearbox. And I've hit the camera again. Alright, so the next stage is to put this plate on the bottom here. What I've come to find though is that it wants you to put the outdrives on after the plate, but in doing so you end up with like plastic walls all around it. So you end up with like the plastic here, not the plastic here, and then on the side, on the bottom plate, there's also some plastic here, like a plastic wall. This makes getting the pin in extremely difficult. So in my opinion, this is the best part to put the outdrives on, because you'll have a lot more free room in order to manage what you're doing. Okay, so when putting the outdrives on, I found that this is probably going to be the better way of doing it. You want to first put the rubber ring onto the outdrive, onto the large section. That'll just slip on once you've got the pin and everything in. And what you want to do next is you want to just, oh, there we go. So you want to add the pin, but don't push it all the way in, like this. This will make it much easier getting the pin in. And what you want to do is just put it on here, find the hole, then just want to, if it's in the right spot, the pin will just go straight in. It is a bit difficult once you get it down to the last tiny bit. It tends to be a bit. Yep, that's in. Okay, so that's got the pin in. Hard to see, but the pin's in. Then we just ring the rubber down, and that's done. I do believe that's the easiest way of putting these outdrives on. Like I say, if you want to use it as a balancing game with the main shaft, I put this one on first. That way I don't drop the entire gear assembly. It just makes it a little bit easier. But if you're okay at balancing things, you could probably just assemble the gearbox and then put the two outdrives on after. Okay, so I'll move on to putting on the lower plate. Now I've already put the arms and everything on. I was just opening up the motor so I could give you a quick little look at the process. Here we go, troubling. Okay, so this goes on the bottom. It just like clips in a little bit because it's got these little walls. So they will clip into the motor boxing at the bottom. Screws, screws. Right. This is held in by 6 screws. Got one here. There you go, it's in properly. Keep knocking the camera. Okay. Now we'll talk about the arm assembly in a moment. I've got this on. Oops. Sorry if I'm snuffling a bit. Cold weather's making the noses run.